Ah, the away version of West Ham at home, as Fulham concede late on to drop 2 points. Yeah, this is the review of the game. In my personal opinion, that was a really fine performance from Fulham. Actually, we really were quite good at times and scored a very good goal with Alex Iwobi, but it was Beto who scored the late equaliser to take 2 points away from Fulham, who probably deserved on balance to win the game. Um, First half, I thought that Everton allowed us to have a lot of the ball, and that actually made Sander Berger look a lot better and a lot more comfortable in his position than he did last week, because Aston Villa were all over us last week. Berger had a little bit more time to play the passes through the thirds, finding Pereira, finding the wide men, finding Smith Rowe, and we were really good in possession and creating chances. We just couldn't take them. Adama Traore coming quite close, Smith Rowe volleying over, Jimenez with a volley. I think Iwobi had an effort as well. It was close, but no cigar for Fulham. It was interesting because when we had the ball, it was Kenny Tete would tuck inside as a sort of a third centre back. It would be Adama Traore really high up on the right hand side, and then sort of Iwobi and Robinson both very high up on the left. And Iwobi would often drift into the central areas, giving Berger sort of the license to roam in front of the defence, and then you've got Pereira and Smith Rowe sort of linking up as well outside the box with Jimenez up top. It worked really well. We had a scare. Obviously, they hit the bar and scored. It was offside. It was a great effort from Ghana Gay, but Calvert-Lewin was offside just, and Fulham survived that moment. And then, they had a header as well straight at Leno in the first half. But Fulham were by far the better team across the whole 90 minutes. And actually, it was obviously not a good first half from Emile Smith Rowe. There was too many bad touches, giving the ball away, and it wasn't really falling for him. It wasn't quite his day, and even in the second half, early points in the second half, where we played a short corner and he lost the ball from that short corner, and I just thought, what an absolute waste of a opportunity. And I think at that point, people were like, "Oh, Smith Rowe's now had a poor game against Villa, not playing very well against Everton," and then suddenly he comes up with the most marvelous of assists. Picking the ball up deep, dropping inside, weaving his way throughout. Beating Ashley Young, and then playing the pass at the right time, I think, to Iwobi. I think that was all he could do in that situation. Played it to Iwobi where there was an option out on the right-hand side. And Fulham are quite prone to overplaying at times and playing that extra pass wide and trying to, break down teams by, passing them to death at times. But this time Iwobi ignored Adama and went for goal and scored a fantastically well-taken goal against his former team. And then you're always going to have to ride a storm against Everton. I think that obviously 6 added minutes. There was an injury to, was it Dwight McNeil right at the end? So that obviously added to the stoppages, and 6 were initiated as added time. And Beto had a header on target, but saved. And I thought Fulham had probably done enough to see it out, but another wave of attack, and they get the goal. Tete, for me, just needs to be closer, closing down the cross. I know he was a bit knackered, but he's got to do better there. Iliman Ndiaye, who he kept so quiet throughout the whole game, getting his cross into the box. Ashley Young volleys it across goal, and Beto heads it in to deny us 3 points. Even then, Harrison Reed had a shot over the bar in the last minute of added time after Fulham won a free kick. Sander Berg was holding onto the ball for way too long there. He didn't know where he was going. I would have just put it into the box. Muniz was there. Positives, quite a few. Iwobi, absolutely fantastic. Smith Rowe, brilliant assist. I want to give a massive shout out to Issa Diop for a really good performance. I thought Bassi was good as well. People were like, oh, but Diop, lost Beto in the box. Yeah, but we had so many men in the box as well. They all lost him. I know he was closest to him, but I thought Diop had a really good game. And coming in for Anderson is always going to be difficult. Anderson will probably come back in next week for the Brentford game. But Robinson good. Bassi very good. Nelson off the bench, really good. And Jimenez had a really good performance as well. Really good at holding up the ball and much better his all-round play. Pereira had a decent game. I thought he was good, Andreas Pereira, but went off hobbling, which hopefully isn't too serious. Questions will be asked about certain substitutions. bringing on Harry Wilson, leaving him quite high up the pitch, left Tete maybe a little bit more exposed. Reece Nelson was fantastic when he came on. Sorry, he really is. He's pushing for a start, isn't he? I asked Mark about that on Thursday, and he said that he's close to starting a game in the Premier League. I think Adama Traore, he makes an impact from the start, but he can also make an impact off the bench. So if we were to go with Nelson, we've always got Adama to bring on, if need be. Super frustrating. Fulham keep dropping points now. That's 3 games in a row we've had the lead and ended up not winning the game, albeit one of them was against Manchester City. And then, of course, Aston Villa as well. Fulham have some nice fixtures to come. We're playing Brentford next week. That's not going to be easy at all. Palace, who have just beaten Spurs, and Wolves, who got a morale-boosting point at Brighton. So none of these games are easy. They're favourable on paper, but there's no guarantees in the Premier League. What I will say is that we're being, right now, undermined by lack of concentration and dropping points, because our performances have been really stellar this season. The worst coming at home to Villa and away to Ipswich. Apart from that, I think we've played pretty well everywhere else we've played this season, and hosting teams as well. Really gutted that we can't hold out for 3 points. Everton weren't great. The fans were getting frustrated. I thought they were a bit disjointed in the first half. Second half, they picked it up a bit. But I think that Iliman Ndiaye was the danger man. We kept him really, really quiet, and then he is the man who crossed the ball into the back post, where Ashley Young is to then lay it off to Beto, who scored. Marcus Silva obviously very disappointed at the end of the game. Players were hurt. He felt hurt that we dropped points and felt the result was unfair. Wasn't a fair reflection of the game. I think Fulham just need to take their chances. We could have made it 2-0. There was a couple of chances we put the ball across the box and no one could get the end of it. Fulham are going to places and playing well, and I think, I think we are a really strong team. But if we'd have got 3 points against West Ham and we got 3 points against Everton, people would be looking at us going, Fulham are a serious team. But soft touch at the end of games is not helping our cause, unfortunately. Brilliant from Smith Rowe. That's exactly why you sign him. That's exactly what you want to see from him. It reminds you of his days at Arsenal, picking up the ball, running, weaving. Genuinely, no one could take the ball off him. And Iwobi, I've been really impressed with Iwobi last few weeks. I'm really enjoying this Fulham team, which is why I don't want to be too downbeat about the whole thing. And it's not like right now, or I don't think at any stage we're going to be in any relegation problems. I'm just enjoying this Fulham team for what it is. But obviously, we as fans, we want to see us progress. It might be seen as erratic or ungrateful that you've been in the Premier League Premier League since the last promotion for this our 3rd season. Already fans are calling that they want to push for Europe, and I think that's fairly fine to say. We've got the players, we've got a manager who's very, very capable of doing it, but it's just about seeing those results through. Otherwise, that sort of thing is just not going to happen. But I'm very, very, very I'm very sad that we haven't won. But Everton, last time to Goodison Park, what a magnificent ground it is. We'll miss going there tremendously, and I'm excited to go back to Liverpool when we play Liverpool later on this year, at the end of the year, who literally about to kick off now, so against Arsenal. So I'm going to wrap up. Not your typical review where I sort of sit through the whole game. It's just more of a reflection piece today, more of my thoughts and feelings on what how the game went, and I'm obviously very disappointed. I am. You can't hide it. This is a video for Patreon members and YouTube as well. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more daily Fulham content, you know where the links are to subscribe. £5 a month, daily Fulham content. Loads to come this week. Under 21s action on the same day as the press conference. So Friday's going to be very, very busy. Saturday, Sunday, there'll be new content out as well ahead of the game on Monday against Brentford, which I'm very, very excited for. And if you did enjoy, please do give it a subscribe on YouTube. And we'll speak again tomorrow for Patreon members, and YouTube will be back to preview the Brentford game sometime next week. Thanks very much for watching, and have a good Sunday night.